What happens when you, hear me out, combine an Eevee with another Eevee? Do you get a brand new normal type Eevee evolution? Do you just get Eevee? Do you get just a bigger Eevee? You know what you really get? You get this. Every evolution combined into one monstrosity. Just as God intended. What happens when you combine the controversial mythical Pokemon Fione with the wonderful evolution Pokemon Eevee? You get Ione. Definitely not the favorite, but it's Fione that's brown with Eevee's tail. I've seen much worse. I've only done 2 videos of this Pokemon fusion, and I already have a comment asking me to see what happens when you combine a Sharpedo and a Mr. Mime. A very specific request. So what happens? you get Mr. Pedo. I don't think we need an explanation for the body. The name says enough. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when you combine Crustle with a Blaziken? You get a Blazistle? It kinda looks like a dragon head with a Crustle body and Blaziken hands? It kinda just looks like it's a squashed Blaziken, to be honest, with a few extra legs. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when you combine the puppet ghost Mimikyu with the mythical Mew? You get... Oh. That's a little dark. Like, no, I don't like that. No. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine Lopunny with Rotom? We get... Oh. That's a little weird. It's just like Lopunny's disformed body in the shape of Rotom. Or Lopunny's just arms and head have been decapitated and laid on the ground. Huh. Not as exciting as I was expecting. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine a Slowbro with a Charmander? We get this Daffy or Donald Duck looking messed up Slowbro. Or basically a Charmander discolored with Daffy Duck lips and the same tail as Slowbro. It's something just looks so off, and that has a really, really shiny forehead. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine the mythical Deoxys with the everything Ditto? We get... one of these things is not like the others. One of these things is a little sus. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine a Piloswine with a Metagross? We get this amazing furry looking Metagross. Like, to be honest, that looks like a legendary Pokemon that people would either really love or really hate, and there would not be any in between. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine a beautiful bird like Talonflame with the gigantic Wailord? We get this horrific looking monstrosity. I can't even call it a whale or a bird at this point, and I, for the love of me, have no idea why there is a wing on its forehead and just a whole bunch of like teeth or something that looks like a giant mouth right underneath that forehead wing. None of this makes any sense, but it looks horrifying. Pokemon Fusion time. What happens when we combine Electrode with a Gengar? Quite the odd combination, but in the end, we get basically just a more excited looking Gengar that is two-tone as Electrode. One of the more basic ones. I like it. Pokemon Fusion Time. What happens when we combine the evolution Pokemon Eevee with the 107 Spirit Pokemon Spiritomb? We get a Spiritomb Eevee with every single evolution stone surrounding it, including an Everstone, I believe. Not sure how that one works, but literally every evolution stone and, I guess, non-evolution stone. Pokemon Fusion Time! What happens when we combine a Jinx with the very lazy Pokemon Slacking? We get this behemoth looking purple woman thing. I think thing is probably the best term for this Pokemon. Not a she, but just a thing. Eevee Fusion Time. What happens when we combine Eevee with the Bulbasaur? We get this Bulbasaur body Eevee. Basically, it looks like Eevee with a Bulbasaur backpack. Eevee Fusion Time. What happens when we combine Eevee with the second Pokemon in the Pokedex, Ivysaur? We get what... Oh, wow, the body. Oh, God. The flower is from Bulbasaur. Or, sorry, Ivysaur. But the body... I don't know. It just looks like a really messed up cat kind of thing. Getting ready to pounce. It's like crouched down, ready to go after something. It's got Eevee's tail, but not really anything else besides the color. Eevee Fusion Time. What happens when we combine Eevee with a giant Venusaur? We get what just looks to be like a Venusaur that's Eevee colors, and then the petals on the flower on its back are every evolution of Eevee? Wow. I honestly really like that. However, the grass hair that's now brown doesn't really look quite right. But I believe this could be a real Pokemon.